one Love Expanded day 142. 142. And this week has been very interesting. It's been really awesome. Even though I've been really busy, in between I've been tapping into the in-between spaces in my life, tapping into my intuition, my gifts, this power that I have that I've always had, but I've never trusted all the way through. So I had a beautiful experience. I'm going to share with you how not trusting yourself all the way can be, and I guarantee if you don't trust yourself, you're blocking your gifts, you're blocking your genius, and you're blocking that mojo that you have to share with the world. Like your most amazingness, especially the stuff that makes you amazing because it does make you different, is going to be blocked if you don't trust yourself all the way. So today I want to talk about what makes us not trust ourselves, how we can trust ourselves more, and my experience of what I did this week to open that gate up in my life. So let's just get right in. And hi everyone, it's awesome seeing all your beautiful faces on here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm first going to tell you my experience because stories are always better. So this week I have had an experience. Firstly, let's just preface. So self-trust, trusting oneself. If you notice in your life that you don't trust other people or you have untrustworthy people in your life, that is a sign for you that you probably do not trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, you can't ever trust someone else. It will never work. You have to the base of self-trust has to be there before you will even allow yourself to trust other people. So that's kind of a benchmark to see. And if you do have untrustworthy people in your life, also look at yourself and say, where in my life am I being untrustworthy so that I can shift this and address it. And when you say untrustworthy, it's when you make promises to yourself and you do not keep them. And there's a way to do this in your head so that you're not diminishing your energy, but you're actually building yourself up. And we're going to go into that. Another reason, let's see, why? So why are you not trusting yourself? So if you establish that, okay, trust is something that I do want, why don't you? And there's lots of different reasons. And for me, getting to that core of why I wasn't and addressing it and eliminating it, I can't talk today, what the? Helped me to actually go in it and clear it up. And let me preface this. I've been working on trusting myself a long time, and this was the last layer of that. So you have to be gentle with yourself. If self-trust is something that you haven't done for a very long time, this is a process, and it's something that you build on yourself, and it's really the building block of building a relationship with yourself. Just like if you had someone you were married to and you didn't trust them, to gain trust back, it's not one day you decide to trust them, you get to build that relationship back. So how do you do that? And that's the cool part. The first thing is you have to get to know yourself. You need to know who you are. And this is usually we deny parts of ourselves that we do not appreciate. And so bringing that back in alignment today, I had a beautiful session with a client today where we worked on that, bringing all the parts of her back. And when I say all the parts, sometimes when we have this range of normal, okay, we're going to have this little scale of normal, and usually if you're this big, you're going to, then the middle part, this is the normal range. So everything on this end, which is like your bad qualities, you're going to deny because you don't want to accept that that's who you are. But on the same scale, everything here, your good qualities, your genius, your fucking awesomeness, your contribution to this world, you also deny. So when you go from living on this normal range to expanding into all of who you are, well, then you can trust yourself more because then you're accessing all of yourself. And this is a process, but it could be as easy as noticing that and start integrating those parts of you, owning those parts of you, accepting those parts of you. Because we're all everything. We are everything on that scale. And to deny it is to not deny yourself, which if you're denying yourself, how can you trust yourself? Number one thing. Okay, your self-talk, and this is huge, 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 huge. And so for me, as I was talking to my friend last week, I was asking her, she's a intuitive, and I was asking her about me. And so as the good intuitive and guide and spiritual guide that she is, she didn't tell me she was asking me questions, and so I got to go within myself. And I was asking the questions, and then she's like, well, you don't trust yourself. And on the outside, I feel like I do, and I do 1,000 times better than I ever have. But in this area of my life, like opening to my intuitive gifts for myself and opening to my vision. So I do have vision. I see things. You know, when I'm tapping, I see into your body. I see your whole body, and I see where the energy blocks are, and I see words and pictures, and I'll see visions of like things in your life. Not necessarily like I saw you and your mother, but I'll say something about your mom, and then you'll be like, how do you know that I had an issue with your mom? Like, I wouldn't know what it was, but I'll see the energy. And so I don't embrace this. First, I don't even tell people about it, but for myself, a lot of the little messages I get, I dismiss and I put aside. And part of that is because of my self-talk, because of the things I tell myself. And it's very sly and sneaky because I do have very good self-talk these days. And what she said is, and this is what I'm going to get to at the end, the pinnacle thing that assisted me to move through is really going in to, I don't want to tell you yet. I'm being all withholding. It's for a good reason. I don't want to tell you because let's first finish this list. Being kind to yourself, your self-talk, okay? Being who you are, going within, spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself is going to assist you to then get into a place of trust. So I'm just going to tell you because I'm horrible at keeping secrets. When she asked me why you don't trust yourself, and I went within myself on this thing. I went within and I said, yeah, I don't. And she said, why don't you? And this is the thing that I want you to do. If you've done this work, you know, self-trust, like I said, is a journey, and you have to start at the beginning, and you have to start layers and peeling off the layers and healing the things inside of yourself and having that relationship with yourself. But what happens if you have that relationship with yourself? I have a really good relationship with myself, but still there was this little thing, right? And so I invite you to go within and ask yourself, why do you not trust yourself? Why can be a tricky question. But when I asked myself, why don't I trust myself? It was a curious answer that came out. And the answer was that because I had picked men in the past that I didn't feel like those were good decisions, like those were good choices, I felt like I can't trust my choices. Which, it's ironic that I have that thought because both of those relationships that were very hard for me, they made me grow and they made me who I am today, and they were the resistance and the catalyst I needed in my life. In fact, those two relationships I see as gifts. These are my gifts. These beautiful gifts that have assisted me, like got my ass in gear and up the hill, proverbially speaking. And so I don't view those as bad decisions in my head, but my subconscious is still attached to this idea that because I picked, and this was like the entire answer of why I didn't trust myself, because I had picked made these two decisions in my life. So not only once did I pick being hurt by a relationship, but twice. Now I'm not trustworthy. And that was a huge aha for me because that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. Because I got to grow with those relationships. Yes, at the time, I was a person who would pick something that hurt me, but through through that I am who I am today, and I got to learn wisdom, and I got to learn discernment and trusting myself, you know, and trust and being worthy enough to say, no, that's not okay. And I do that, all those things now. So to notice what is the thing that is stopping that trust. And in that moment when I could feel into that and just be aware of it, and then I could start working into it and opening to my gifts. So as this week progressed, trusting myself more, even though when I do my tapping, I can see things. This week, when I had with all of my clients, my gifts were amplified. The way that I do the clearings are now different. The way that I interact with my clients are now different, and it's deeper. I've gone deeper into my gifts. I've gone deeper into the wisdom that is universal consciousness that I'm accessing. Because when I'm working with you and with my clients, I am accessing universal consciousness. I'm just the conduit to do this, and I'm tapping in, and that's what my gift is, to tap in and to tap into you and to merge those two and clear out the junk, right? And to align you to yourself, to just guide you. All I'm doing is guiding you to align to yourself. And now the more that I'm connected and the more that I've opened myself to trusting, I can align that better. So this is how it's impacted my life. And not only that, this week I've been opening to my visual gifts more. I have these friends and they're telling me these awesome stories. I'm like, where are you getting this? And they're going into meditation and they're like they're trusting their instincts and they're getting messages. And maybe they see things, maybe they hear things, maybe it's a feeling, but they're having these awesome experiences, and I'm frankly jealous. I'm like, I want to have this stuff. I know I can do that. And so this week, even though life is life, I've been having these snippets of sinking into that space, which is my gifts and my power and my mojo, and the thing that is just mine, you know, and you have your thing that's just yours, your gift, and it's going to look very different to mine, and it might look the same as mine. That's not the point. But what it is open to what your gift is. Trust yourself. Be yourself. Embrace all of who you are, and when you do, magic. You're going to unleash the magic inside of you. I have a friend, when he talks, he's sing-songy and he does this because he's unleashing the magic in you. So, unleash the magic. I'm not going to do a sing-songy thing because I'm not him. But I love you, love you, love you. And the world loves you and the world needs you. So, uncover all of who you are. Live from all of who you are and be the beautiful, magnificent spirit being that you are. Love, love, love you, and love, love, love me. Mwah.